right, all right. Well, I ain't gonna prolong the time. Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you may find yourself as you listen to this, and welcome to the show that received the exciting news today that Avatar, The Last Airbender, is gotten renewed for seasons 2 and 3 on Netflix. So all you hating losers out there who was crying about the show, complaining, whining. Why didn't they make it more like the cartoon? What did they do to Katara? Why didn't they do this? You whiny little crybabies. Call your mothers and tell them we up. We back out here. We got seasons 2 and 3. Two of them things on your head top. You hear me? You hear me? And all of y'all, every single last one of y'all, I don't want to hear y'all about watching seasons 2 and 3. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Matter of fact, all of y'all can kiss my cabbages.
Cabbages?
You got to watch it. You got to watch the show to know the reference. You got to watch the show to know the reference. It's another episode of It's a Black and White Thing featuring A1 and A Ward. You can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, choosing Brains and Bars or It's a Black and White Thing. Rate, review, subscribe. You can also do the same thing. Excuse me. Every episode of It's a Black and White Thing can be live streamed on YouTube as well. So hit the share, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Hit the likes, get the likes up. Tell a friend to tell a friend it's them boys again. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching Brains and Bars. And as you can see, I got my homie in the building, A Ward, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, man? It's good to be here. Make sure y'all go to iamawardshop.com, grab you some merch. Make sure you tune in. This is this weekend will be my 5th battle in 5 weeks. So I've got 4 battles that I just had. Another battle that hasn't released yet, the Gwitty battle. So there's a lot of stuff that should be dropping on YouTube, hopefully in the next couple of months. So please make sure you stay tuned in. And yes, it's a fun time. This is our favorite time of the year, I think, sports wise. I mean, I think similar. I mean, well, somewhat. I think March Madness is probably the most exciting time of the year for me, sports wise, as far as tournament goes. With the Chiefs being in the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl a lot, that excitement is a lot bigger. But consistently, year to year, March Madness is my favorite time. Conference tournaments start next week. If I'm not mistaken, will the Big 12 men's be here? I know the women's are here. Is the men's?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Yeah, I keep seeing the Instagram ads that the Big 12 women will be at the Sprint Center, but I'm not sure about the men's conference. If the men are playing here, if they're playing maybe down in Dallas, because now we got Houston and Central Florida and BYU and all that good stuff. But
it's looking like it's here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so a lot of excitement coming here in the city over the next couple of weeks. College basketball is alive and well. NBA basketball is alive and well. Baseball's getting started. We're approaching opening day here in probably the next few weeks. It's a good time, man. It's a good time.
Yo, the GOAT is gonna be in town next month. Wow. Messi.
Let's go. What?
He's gonna be in town. That Sporting took that to Arrowhead.
Wow, they did.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Those tickets they're probably gonna sell out Arrowhead.
Yeah, like I'm definitely looking at that. So I know we're going to a CONCACAF. I think it's a CONCACAF game.
Yeah, yes.
We're taking on Uruguay.
Oh, they announced the opponent?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. When I was looking up the other day, I didn't think that the opponent was announced yet.
Yeah, let me make sure I'm not tripping. But yeah, I feel like Uruguay is the opponent. Copa America. I'm sorry, it's not CONCACAF. Copa America matchup. But yeah, that is at Arrowhead, so we'll be in the building for that. My first time ever going to a soccer game, so I'm pretty excited about that. If Darwin Nunez is playing, I'm going to boo him mercilessly because his Liverpool side, shout out to the homie Iller, but not shout out to the homie Iller because that's his team. But they beat my Nottingham Forest team in the Premier League, and I need to get a heavy bag at the crib just so like when I have moments where I just need to blow off a little steam, I can just go to the heavy bag, put the timer on 5 minutes, and just kind of go crazy. Because I was definitely.
But after 45 seconds, you realize like I'm done. Like 5 minutes of throwing punches is a long time.
Man, listen. Like they scored a goal in the 99th minute. It was 8 minutes of stoppage time. It should have been, the match should have been over. They gave him one last corner kick, and literally the last, like they may have kicked the ball 3 times after that. Header, back of the net. Liverpool beats Nottingham Forest in the game. Nottingham Forest needed that draw to get that 1 point. So
I know
if Darwin Nunez is there, I'm going to.
I was in New York City this weekend, and we were out kind of celebrating Saga's birthday, just hanging out. And we met 2 older couples, and they were behind us, and I could tell the accent was from the UK. So we got to talking. And one of them was a huge fan of the team that you mentioned the other day, Sheffield. I'm guessing they got
Sheffield United.
Ooh, yeah,
yikes.
Yeah. And from what I gathered, your comments that they were getting beat pretty handily.
It was 5-0 at halftime.
Yeah, so he shows me his phone, and he's got this Sheffield emblem on it and stuff like that. And he's just talking all kinds of. But they were super nice. I think one thing we underestimate is that, and older people want to talk to younger people, like in a polite fashion. When you're out and about, like older people enjoy, like seeing younger people and talking and just having conversation or whatever, So we meet these older couples, and they're just hyped that, we know some of areas of the UK, and I've been to Manchester, I've been to London, and I've done, done this, I've had that, and use some of the terminology and different things like that. We're having a good time, So, they bought us a round of shots of, I've had a baby beer before as a shot, but this was like a baby Guinness is what they were drinking, but it's kind of like a Bailey's shot. It looks like a little bitty Guinness. It's got the foam at the top and everything. It was really good, but it was just a cool time. And that's New York City for you. You meet people from all over the place, but it was a good time hanging out with Saga, being in New York City and talking about soccer. They were just happy I called it football, and I just called it football because I wanted to get free shots. So, you just got to know the techniques of the going to bars.
All right, yo, Josh, shout out to you, man. I'm glad that we're able to be a little pick me up at the end of the night. We'll actually be on with Josh. I told Ward I'm going to remind him this once a week until we get there.
Yes.
April 23rd, we'll be on with Josh on his podcast, talking the Bears, talking NFL draft. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We're also going to talk a little bit of battle rap. So let's start there. Let's get into that. You were, as you mentioned, you were in New York this weekend. Caskets or Classics 2, Queen of the Ring. Shout out to Debo, Vague, Babs, the whole team up there. Taking on your YTG teammate, Bonnie Godiva. Just kind of give us a little bit of a recap of how you felt like the battle went, how you feel like the night was for you up there.
Yeah, no. One thing Queen of the Ring always does, they take great care of me. They flight was great. Straight there, no connections. Had a driver there to pick me up immediately. Got me to my hotel. My hotel was in the heart of Times Square. Super nice hotel. Right when I walk, right when I get off the elevator and walk outside the doors, I'm there. Like I could eat anywhere, go to any stores. I mean, I'm literally right there where Times Square is, and that was really dope. Queen of the Ring. This is my second time battling on Queen of the Ring. The first time was Panic Room, and it was against K Profit, and it was in Atlanta. And Atlanta's the Atlanta Queen of the Ring is a lot different than the New York Queen of the Ring. Even though they still have the same host and it's the same league, but I get the address to the venue, and as a battler, you always want to try to be very, very supportive of the entire card, but also just from a standpoint of like traveling all the time and just trying to be professional and lock in. Like there's too many times where I've shown up when I'm supposed to show up, and then 6 hours later, I'm exhausted trying to chug Red Bulls because I haven't rapped yet, So with this particular event, like I just told myself, like, I'm just I got the pay-per-view. I'm just going to sit in my hotel room until that pay-per-view actually starts, because I think doors are supposed to open at 4. And I don't think the battle started. No, doors are supposed to open at 3 Eastern. Battles were supposed to start at 4 Eastern, and I don't even think they started until 6. So I got there probably like 7:30, maybe something like that. I waited until the first battle or two happened, and then I went ahead and headed over. man, when I got there, you're kind of walking down this Brooklyn street. It looks like nothing is there. It's like, like you're just kind of, it's a little bit sketch area, whatever. It just looks from afar. And then there's just like a door, and then you just open it up. And then, man, when you walk in the venue was just super, super nice. I mean, it was a nice big bar, a nice big main stage, lights, everything, the bricks, it was just really, really nice venue. So I was really surprised by that, just from the aesthetic of outside. But yeah, once I got inside, I was able to, J2 and K Profit were just starting their battle, which I really wanted to see that battle. So I was able to see J2 and K Profit. Then I was able to see Don Lady and Torture. And then we did our battle. The other battles I didn't really. There was another battle or two maybe that happened. Maybe I was outside practicing or something. But yeah, so as far as the event and everything, venue great. J2 K Profit, good solid battle. I really like both of them. Don Lady really impressed me. I had a friend that one of my friends from Kansas City who now lives in New York City. I went to church with him in Kansas City. He brought another friend out. They came out to support, and they're not battle rap fans, you know what I mean? But you can always kind of like just tell from their reactions and stuff, like, and that's kind of cool to see. Like, oh, you like this person, I wonder why you like that person, you know what I mean? And Don Lady, she did such a good job, and I think that they were like really, really impressed with her performance. And I was too, she had some really good stuff. But so as far as the battle's concerned, myself and Bonnie, we get mic'd up, we get up there. It's the first time I've seen Bonnie. She walks on stage, she's got her man with her. They're both wearing matching hoodies that say Reparations 2024 on them. So I'm just kind of looking at her like, really, Bonnie? Is this okay? All right, whatever. Do you? You know what I mean? I look at the back and he's holding like a bag. He's holding like a grocery bag, and it's got like a flannel shirt and a straw hat in it and everything. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? So I will say this much, the crowd to me was lifeless. And a lot of times it's on the entertainer to like engage that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to bring that out of the crowd. You can't always be mad at a lifeless crowd. The tough thing about it is we were far from the end of the stage because of the camera, so we couldn't get close to the end of the stage. And then after the end of the stage is the cameras, and then 20 feet back is the crowd. And there's only probably, I don't know, no more than 100 people there in a very big venue. So not only that, the crowd is like spread out. So this is a person. You know what I mean? And so the energy just wasn't there crowd wise for me. You know what I mean? Just from the jump. And so I think that was probably the toughest thing about the battle. Material wise, I liked what I had. I was prepared. I performed at a high level. And Bonnie rapped well too. But I just thought that this was one of those battles one of those battle events that like Avocado would look at the venue and be like, this many people, all right, cool, we're getting in the pit. You're coming down here, everybody get around and let's rap, like let's create that atmosphere, shout out, yes. Locker Room Lids actually had all the Royals and Monarch stuff on sale for like $10 or $15 at Oak Park Mall. So I caught this one. But yeah, so like this is one of those situations where I think Avocado would have kind of like, made that change and made it more, But I also just say too, is like that Queen of the Ring New York crowd, all the ladies, they kind of got their lady friends. There's a lot of females. This is a different type of crowd, that in every crowd is different. You write differently, So whereas I thought I put on a good performance, I thought I clearly got the win. I thought Bonnie did well as well. No chokes, no like stumbles, nothing like that. I just thought that when it translates on cam and just the feeling in the building, like that energy just wasn't there. You know what I mean? And it also might play the part that it's just like, yo, we are teammates. We're battling each other. So I don't have like that animosity either. So I'm able to cultivate that kind of energy either, trying to get it from the crowd, but it wasn't there. But overall, still a great event. Queen of the Ring put on a great, card. They treated me well. I had a great time in New York City for real.
So you've now battled Bullets. You battled Nestle and now Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Is Mickey Facts going to happen down the line? You've already Or are
Listen,
you done? You're done battling teammates.
Mickey Facts has a good thing going with him. Pendulum Inc. Last thing he needs is to get beat so badly that his students don't even trust the words he says in classrooms anymore. And so that's just he probably just needs to stay in the classroom. But no, Saint, Born, Mickey, all three of them, man. Like I'm with all the smoke. The Infinity Gauntlet right now. I got the Bonnie Stone, the Nestle Stone, and I got the Bullet Stone. So I just need the other three, man. And I'm officially the Whitey G. I mean the Whitey G. What do they call it? Whitey G in the group? No, the YTG. I'm the GOAT. So nah, man. But yeah, it was a really good event, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. If you have not had a chance to check out A Ward versus Bonnie Godiva, you can go to Rap Grid. You can still purchase the VOD. Caskets are classics too, and it might be classics or caskets too. So please forgive me if I got that backwards. It's on Rap Grid. Please go check that out. All right, so let's continue in this battle rap space.
Text I just got pissed me off. I have to tell you later. It's from a league owner about battling somebody. Nope, not doing that. All right, keep on.
Oh, okay. All right. So Twerk versus A Ward on volume 13 will not be going down, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Will not be going down on URL. But speaking of before we get to URL, I want to talk about this first. So shout out to Jay Smo from Let's Talk Battle Rap. He's becoming a little bit more visible these days. He's been on the champion panel the last 2 years. He dropped a blog recently entitled his top 5 performers in battle rap. Interesting list, I would say. Go to Jay Smo Reviews on YouTube. Please subscribe. Go check out all of his content there. It's an interesting list. I'm not here to critique the list or to tear down a list and say it's garbage or trash or whatever, because it's his list. And so I'm not prepared to say anything positive or negative. You go listen, watch, and you come up with your own list or your critique of what you think his list is missing or what he got right? But I had a couple of questions while watching his list. And so I wanted to bring these to you because you are obviously one of the top battle rappers in the game. And so I wanted to start by asking this question. How do you, sir, define performance?
Good question. How do I define performance? I think performance is being able to use words, nonverbal communication, tone, charisma, and just intangibles to entertain the crowd, like outside of the paper. It's really like bringing the paper to life. You know what I mean? Like we all write the words down on the paper. Everybody's got that notepad or a piece of paper or their whatever on their computer or whatever, And it's like, how do those words come to life? There's a lot of dope writers that can get up there and just rap or whatever, but I think performers are able to write ways, to where this line on paper might not look crazy, but watch me perform this, If I was to copy and paste and send you, A1 and say, oh, what you think about this? And you just read it and you were like, I'm on the road now. I'm looking out over the Chrome crowd. You know what I mean? Like, no, I have to be able to bring that to life. You know what I mean? And so I think that performance is, in a way, I think a lot of it is when charisma and the ability to kind of like just feed off the energy and engage the crowd and like tone and different things like that. Whenever you can kind of complete bars with all that stuff to shake buildings, you know what I mean? And I think that like that's why you see guys like Hitman. Hitman was never really the loudest or the biggest, he wasn't the bully or anything like that, but he had a cadence to him and he had an engagement, his eye contact or the way he kept things. I always use the analogy of like and1 dribbling, or somebody that can dribble. Somebody can dribble, but when you got somebody that's got that thing on a string, like Kyrie Irving, you know what I mean? And you're just like, you know what I mean? Like So that's what it is, you know. And so that's why they say like guys like Hitman are like the king of performance, is because like, man, not only is it just the words, but it's just captivating watching him rap and act out and do different things, you know. And then when you take things like his whole remix thing, or you bring, you know, my little brother gonna have to hold me up. These are heavy performance type bars, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, shout out to Surf, Free to Wave, but like, I know when he got into the promo for the JC battle, and one of the things that people kept bringing up to him that he kept breaking down in the lead up to that battle was, you know, he kept saying, well, y'all keep telling me he got a pen. And he's like, what does that mean? Like, he's like, we all write well. Like
Yeah.
we all, that's why we're the at the top of this sport, because we can all put words together well. But he's like, when I step up on that stage, he's like, I'm electrifying. He's like, I am doing something that JC, now I don't want to put words in his mouth at this point, but basically he was saying that he was doing things that he felt like JC could not do, in terms of he can move the crowd. He can,
Yeah.
they connect with him. He can bring that emotion. I feel like a guy like Sean, I think is considered one of the best performers in this sport, because he connects with the crowd. You think about the JC battle, he goes into the Michael Jackson scheme and he gets into the flow. JC, right? And like, you know, and the crowd is just losing their mind, right? I think so. I said that to say to this, because those guys are seen as really great big stage performers, right? Guys that you want to see on a big card, big stage. Now, one of the things that Jay Smo, when he gave his list, he kept going back to the big stage, and he referenced big stage moments and battles for a lot of the reasoning behind choosing who he chose, right? So when is big stage, I'm sorry, is performance simply a big stage attribute, or can it be used in a variety of settings? Can it be used in a medium, in a small room?
Yeah.
Or is it just for the big stage?
Well, I mean, yeah, no, it's definitely not just for the big stage. However, the big stage also gives you an instantaneous visual of how many people you moved. You know what I mean? And so that's the big thing about a big stage. Is like, normally on a big stage, there's 100 people on stage. You know, like, and you're looking at that, and you're seeing the whole crowd, like of 1,000, 2,000, whatever people going crazy as well. So it gives you like that's a performer, man. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it is more difficult to rap in front of 2,000 people than it is to rap in front of 200 people. Because, you know, if you've ever watched any kind of battle rap event, hey, can you stop talking at the bar? Hey, can you do this? And you hear that in rooms full of 150, 200 people. Times that by 10, now you got 10 people talking at the bar. Now you got 80 people that are not even listening. You know what I mean? Like, and you're the guy up there rapping while all this is going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more difficult. So I think that performance-wise, like, it gives you those extra points if you're able to have all those people just glued to you, you know. But that doesn't mean that it can only happen on a big stage. You know, you can have bars, you know, that are in small rooms as well, go just as crazy, just like Twerk standing over the body with the hoodie down. You know what I mean? Like, the whole room, everybody wanted to run. You know what I mean? We watched Twerk and Nitty. You know, there was bars still there. You know, they said he was gonna beat me to death. You're right. He died first. Oh my gosh, that's a bar. But like, it's the way he's delivering it. There's just a lot of different things to the buildup. You know what I mean? I remember when O-Red battled Cortez. I think maybe you were at my house. You know, when we watched that.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
bow, bow. Ain't nothing else got to speak about. You know, at the end of his round or whatever, he's acting out his bars, a small room. We just like, yo, like, that's performance. You know what I mean? That's performance in the small rooms. You know, and so, and then, you know, you see those bars in small rooms, and you're like, I guarantee you that would have shook a big building too. You know?
Yeah. So I want to ask, kind of take a quick tangent here. When you land a bomb on a big stage, like, I guess I hear athletes talk about, you know, when they're in the zone and they just hit a shot and the crowd is like losing their mind, or how sometimes they don't really hear anything. It just all becomes kind of like background noise because they're so in the moment.
Yeah.
So when you land, you know, a Glock 40, when you land a Deshaun Watson, when you land a Crown Vic bar, and people are just losing their mind? Like, are you even like, what state of mind are you in at that moment?
Man, it's tough. I've probably been in a few different states of mind. My first big one, you know what I mean? I can tell you that like it was more of that everything, like I'm underwater. Like you're just kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? To the point to where I kind of was freaking out, like, oh, guess what? You got to start rapping again. And whenever they decide they want to calm down is when you need to start rapping. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of, collect yourself or whatever. But then like on the Crown Vic line where I'm like pretty sure this bar is going to, shake the building, after I'm kind of already in a bag. Now I'm able to like going into the second round, knowing, okay, when I get to this bar, I see such and such is over here. I see such and such is over here. This is what I think I'm going to do. I'm kind of playing out a little bit more and be, but regardless, you just never know until it hits, never know until it hits. And it is, I mean, it's rarely do you get like the payoff of like, I'm guarantee you that there's so many battle rappers that have written bars they thought were going to shake the whole everything. And they, it was whatever. It was just a regular bar. You know what I mean? And so to kind of get those, like you don't get a lot of those a year, and there's a lot of battles, and especially now these days with less and less main stage events, you don't really get a lot of those big moments or whatever. So yeah, you just kind of got to enjoy them and then get back to work.
So okay. So I just wanted to ask that question just because it came to my mind. But when you talk about writing for reaction, like there is nothing. I don't want to say cringier because I don't think that's fair to the artist. But there is nothing more like when a guy has written a setup and a punch where he thinks he's about to like, even if it's not shake the room, he's about to get a right, like okay, and it is silence. And you've seen it mess with battlers to where like they then choke because they were expecting the crowd reaction to be able to get them to that next part. It wasn't there, and now their confidence is shaking. They're thrown a little bit off. Well, I guess we got this question from Shout Out to Mama Ward. What happens if you're on a big stage and the bars don't hit?
I mean, if the bars don't hit, you keep rapping, and that's kind of like what you're speaking to right now. Is like the minute you start writing for crowd reaction is the minute you're in trouble, because basically what you're saying is this bar should hit and it should give me a couple extra seconds to like collect myself and get to the next bar. And it's like, nah, that's not how that's not how it works. You know what I mean? That's when you forget. Yeah. That's when you forget your transition statements, or you just looked rattled. You stumbled maybe into the next line, and you're kind of just you kind of shook. It's like a quarterback taking a big hit. You know what I mean? And kind of being shook and getting back to the huddle. If you're still feeling the effects, that next throw is gonna be in the dirt or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's why you never write for crowd reaction. You just can't. You just can't unless you're literally planning to plant people in there to go crazy for you, but you just can't write for crowd reaction because you never know.
So one last thing, and we'll get back to the performance aspect of this. When your opponent has got the entire room going crazy and they're landing bar after bar, everything's a reaction. They're bringing it back, right? Just so they could get the reaction again before they go to their next part of their round. Like, granted, I know you're a freestyle guy, so I know you're always listening for material that you can try to flip before you get into your writtens. But like, what is that like? What is that moment like when like Nitty's like, I know y'all can't even see Aaron live, but he was shot previously, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little too what's the word? Maybe I'm just not easily impressed. But like, there's really been very few rounds like against me in my career where I've just been like, yo, this person is going crazy right now. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to be able to do with this? And the Nitty first round was definitely that round. That was the first time I felt like somebody, and people will say people have to say, hey, he lost to Ilmac or he lost these battles before that Nitty battle or whatever. But that's the first time I ever heard a round, and I was just like, I don't know if I got anything for this. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, and so that feeling is, hey, this, you can't control what he's doing. All you can say is, I pray to God he don't have 2 more of these. You know what I mean? And so, and like as a rebuttaler, I'm constantly trying to find ways to flip the energy. So I'm like, yo, you can either sit here and be mad that he's literally wrote his greatest material ever against you, it seems like, or you can sit here and try to find ways to go, to continue this next round or rebuttal or steal some of this energy. You know what I mean? But like, even like the Big K first round, which is another first round, and a lot of people were just like, yo, he just went smooth off on A Ward. I wasn't even in the moment impressed with a lot of the material he was writing. I thought it was good. I thought he was rapping well, but I was just kind of like, yeah, he's got this crowd in the palm of his hand, and that's a dangerous thing. It don't matter what he's saying. He's got the crowd in the palm of his hand,
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to this top 5 performance thing. All right. So one of the things that Jay, at least in my opinion, right, and I don't necessarily want to speak for him, but I felt like part of what factored into his top 5 was, one, you had to be active, right? So it wasn't an all-time list. This was kind of current active battle rappers. And I feel like he factored wins, right? Like he talked about Hustle and how Hustle had, wins over Rock, had wins over Arsenal, in his opinion, right? And so when you're talking about top 5 performers, how much should wins and losses factor into where you rank if you're making this list, right? How much should that factor into that ranking?
I don't think it should factor in it really at all. Outside of like maybe putting somebody up there who's like a consistently chokes or consistently gets smoked, you know what I mean? Maybe then you're able to say kind of like, yeah, is he that great of a performer if he's always like not remembering his bars or always choked or getting like smoked in battle rap? But I still stick to the whole thing that like 75% of battles, that come out are debatable. Subjectively, you can literally say this person won or that person won. You know what I mean? You can look at a battle like Rock and Av, you can say one. You can look at a battle like Swamp and Chef Trez, either one of them won. You could, a lot of battles are like that. So the whole win-loss thing to me is kind of pointless or whatever when it comes to performance, because man, Loaded Lux might not have won a battle in a long, long time, but we still consider him one of the greatest writers of battle rap. You know what I mean? And like, if he was an active battler and performing the same way he's been performing, we would still consider the top 5 pin, win or loss. We don't care about that. You know what I mean? It's just what he uses, what he chooses to use as his primary tactic in battling. You know what I mean? And so guys like Twerk, guys like Hitman, guys like Ill Will, Briz Rothstein when he was active, these guys, they're top-notch performers, Pat Staff, I feel like, was. And so it's like, these guys are performers. These guys, and that whole win-loss thing and being one of the best performers shouldn't really matter. Are they performing at a high level? Are they consistently performing at a high level? And do they do something that engages the crowd, the energy, the performance, the whatever it is, the show times, the remix, the skirt, whatever it might be with that, or just whatever. Like, do they do that on a high level as a better than all the rest of everybody? So,
all right. So with that being said, give me who you think currently. So we go active battlers. Who you think are your top 5 performers in battle rap. And here's the thing. You can include yourself in this list, but I'm going to have one rule. You cannot be number 1. You can include yourself in the list.
Oh, I'm number 2.
You cannot. you can be 5, 4, 3, or 2. You cannot be number 1.
Current top 5. I'm gonna go with I'll go with New Jersey Twerk. I'll go with Hitman Holla. I'm going to go with Ill Will. I'm going to go with myself. And I'm going to go with Man, who would be the 5th? I'm not picking you. Who am I leaving off right now? Who am I leaving off? Is there somebody? Is there a glaring? This is the other thing. I don't believe there are a lot of performers in battle rap right now. So that's another thing is I don't. So I guess I'm gonna go with Tay Rock.
Okay, I was going to say like I don't know how you feel about like a bill collector. I don't know if you consider him a performer. He's
Who?
definitely entertaining when he's on stage. I know, I know, I know. It's all right. Yeah, yeah,
No, Bill Collector. Bill Collector is definitely a performer still. Yeah, Bill Collector's a
yeah.
performer and a high level performer.
I'm not mad at Tay Rock. I'm not mad at Tay Rock being in that top five. I'm trying to think, like going off the top of my head.
You know, the other person I was gonna say was gonna be possibly Danny Myers because I think Danny Myers has added like some performance to what he does. You know, he does a lot of
Yeah,
everything, but you know, like even that stop hammer time like that, that's a performance bar that's just like crazy. You know,
yeah,
it wasn't very
for sure.
recent, but like things like that that Danny's able, you know, kind of doing. You know,
You know what's funny? Like he's not gonna come up in these lists, but I haven't watched a lot of his battles, but I've seen a lot of clips lately. Oh Solo
oh yeah,
is like I just want to know from Oh Solo, how are you able to get these bars off and you don't react?
he
Like
doesn't.
everybody
He
is going
raps him
like
so.
because dog, it's one thing to be like in a setting where it's like The Office, right? Where you're acting, it's a TV show, right? And you're able to say cut and you can laugh. But Oh Solo is literally delivering like just the craziest stuff you can think of and around. Everybody around him's going crazy. They're
Yeah,
pushing him, and he's just sitting there stone faced, like
yeah.
no reaction. O Solo again. I have not watched a lot of O Solo battles, but he might be top five for me just off of the clips I see. Because
Oh,
one
Solo's the
brother
goat.
bring two
Yeah.
brothers, three brothers bring four. Like the fact that you're able to do this and maintain no
What kind
facial
of
expression to
dressing do
me
you
is
want on your
amazing.
knuckle sandwich? Yo, Osolo's the GOAT, man. Osolo's the GOAT. Before I ever started battle rapping, Osolo was the GOAT. You know, I seen Osolo for the first time when Cannon put me onto the Smack DVDs way back, way back, and his style was just like so unorthodox. I remembered him, just like from those Smack DVDs, and so when I got into battle rapping or when I became a fan of battle rap, whatever, I would always check for Osolo because he was just so unorthodox and he was himself. And to be able to finally meet him at GTX event when I battled Frack, and then just kind of kick it with him and like I have a mutual respect or whatever, man. Osola is a dope. Also, E Ness is a performer as well. E Ness is up there. That I want to
Mm.
make sure he gets mentioned as well. E Ness is always doing things to kind of engage the crowd, create that energy, put performance into his bars and different things like that. Not to mention his cadence and rapping ability as a performance as well. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. So y'all let's know what y'all think, man. Who y'all got in y'all top five performers? Again, go check out Jay Smo Reviews. He's got his top five list up. He's got all type of battle rap content. He's becoming more of a prominent figure within battle rap. Shout out to Let's Talk Battle Rap. He's been on the champion panel the last years. To me, again, you may not agree with everything he says. You may not agree with the logic and the reasoning behind it. But to me, it is well thought out. It seems to be, in my opinion, with not a lot of bias. So check it out. But hit us up. Who y'all got? Top five performers in battle rap. Hit us up at Brands and Bars on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, IG. Let us know who y'all got. All right, man. So let's keep going, moving in this battle rap world, man. So for exciting news dropped this week. URL went live from the app for the first time ever. Jay Black was the first content creator, the first person to ever go live from the app, and they announced that they're going to be moving forward. Their caffeine deal is done. They have separated ways with caffeine, and now when they go live, you will go live from the URL app. They are not mobile ready quite yet, but you are able to stream live events that URL puts on directly from the app on your I don't know if tablets, but I know for sure you can do it from most smart TV applications as well as laptop, computer, whatever you have. So your reaction to URL going live from the app and using that to stream their content going forward.
Yeah, I think it's the right move. I think it probably is a year late, but I'm not going to be overly critical to them. But I think they try to get all their ducks in a row. As a battle rapper and just being kind of privy to a lot of information. Like I know a lot of the stuff that's going on in the background, a lot of the moves they've been making. Even not being on URL, I'm privy to the information, but still, like, so I think they're putting their best foot forward, and I think that that it's something that is going to excite the fans, and I think that it's something that as long as they keep putting on events, and putting together good cards. Now, I wasn't impressed with the first card that they announced, the volume card. I wasn't, it was cool. It was whatever, I would have loved for this announcement.
Don't get into that.
Yeah. I would love for this announcement to have came packaged with like oh snap, like let's go. We back, so I think it's just kind of a wait and see thing, like you said, I think most people watch their battle rap on their phones. I firmly believe that, and so I'm interested to see, what's that going to look like, if it's going to be, it's probably going to be a lot more people not watching live if they can't watch it on their phone, because, if you're like me, I'm always in transit. I'm always, I'm in a hotel, I'm in an airplane, I'm whatever, always going somewhere on the weekends. Everybody's driving somewhere to do something. You got to plug in your car. You're just listening to it and letting it play or whatever it may be. So I definitely think that once they get the mobile, piece ready, it'll be a lot better. But yeah, I'm happy for him. And I think the culture in hearing it was happy. And that's kind of what we need right now, is we need good positive moves, good positive, type things for URL and for battle rap, to see like, okay, cool. This is a new era. This is what we're going to. Let's see how that works out.
For sure. Now, for the pay-per-view events, if you app gang, it's $40. If you are a lurker, you're non-app gang, it is $60 for you. If you get that URL app, though, again, you'll get paid a $20 difference. And listen, as someone who has had the app since day one, I was super excited. This is something that I have been asking and wanting from URL for a long time. And I get it. These things take time, right? Like, this is not something, Rome was not built in a day, but I'm happy to see that they made this announcement. I'm happy to see that they're going to be able to live stream. I want to say Jay Black mentioned something about being fully independent. So I think that was more than just the app. I think there was something else, but whether or not he said it, I don't want to repeat it, because I don't want to be the one like sharing stuff that you've made me privy to. But like I said, it's a really dope. And for me, like, I've said it for years, like, I have to give the staff their kudos, because in a world where everyone is increasing the price of their content for monthly subscriptions, they haven't done it. It was $7.99 the day they started it, probably like 2018, 2019. It has been $7.99 ever since. And so for me, if they would have came out and said, yeah, we're live streaming, and to help offset that cost, we're going to raise it to $10, $12, I'd have been like, bet. Because again, you're giving me the opportunity to view this stuff from your app. I know that the infrastructure of that is not cheap, and I would have been happy to pay a few extra dollars a month to make sure that they could bring that content to us. Because to me, that gives us the opportunity. I know a lot of people wanted to see Rookie versus Vets live, right? Like all these kind of app exclusives. If they so choose, they have the opportunity now for us to see all of that stuff live. And I hope to a degree they do that. I know they won't give us everything live, right? They're still going to have content that they shoot, that they drop at a later date, because they're trying to fill a calendar, right, of content throughout the year. But for the Gnomes, the Summer Madness, the volumes,
I don't know if they spoke about it. I didn't watch the announcement or whatever. But if you're a non-app gang and you pay the $60, do you still get a VOD for it?
That's a good question. I don't think they answered that question. I think that might be something that they might address down the line. Okay. I would assume it, at least logically, it would make sense to me if you pay the $60, if there's a VOD, because we're not sure there's going to be a VOD, right? Like there might be. You got to watch it live. If you don't, hey, if you want to watch it again, download the URL app and become a member.
Because that's $7.99 a month. Because like, what if there's any kind of any kind of connection issues and stuff? You know what I mean? And I would hope, but I mean, like on Rap Grid, you're able to go back to your profile and you can literally go and watch every single, like almost anything you've bought. You know what I mean? Like stored there or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, I wonder if they'll have that. I think it might be beneficial to be like, hey, you might not. I don't know if they have a way to be like, yeah, they probably do. You create your own profile without having the app. Like create a profile on URL TV, sign in, log in, all that kind of stuff, without having to be an app.
Yeah. So let's get into this card. And I'll say this before we start talking about who, going and making predictions. To me, I think part of the reason why you're not getting blockbuster battles in terms of like battles that we've been highly anticipating, that matchups that we might have wanted to see. I think you want to play it safe because this is your first time. Do you remember the first time they went live on Caffeine? There were a lot of issues with that first. Genesis, yeah. There was a lot of issues with that stream. You have a bunch of recognizable names. You have some of the biggest names in the sport, right? You got your Twerks, you got your Rocks, you got your T-Tops, right? And so I think they want to play it safe. And that way, if something goes wrong, then they can, it's not like, oh my God, we got Nitty and Lux in the stream window.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, I only had to miss 16 bars of Sirius Jones. I'm good.
So with that being said, man, let's get into this. We'll start at the bottom of the card. So shout out Ace Amin versus P. I am not a battle rap lifer, so I've never seen P battle in my life. Maybe I will in the lead up to this. But your thoughts on Ace Amin versus P?
Yeah, Ace Amin and P. I'm excited for that one. This battle's actually been booked for a while. I believe they took this from what was supposed to be on a different card months ago, because I know, Ace is a good friend of mine. I know Ace has been writing for P for, or just been like, yeah, I got P coming up. I don't know if it ever had a date, but it's been a while, P is one of them, those guys, like you said, you're not a battle rap lifer, but P was there for some of the first ever, URL events, and since then, he's had good showings. He had good showing on the trenches, I believe. I didn't watch it, but also P is just a really solid dude, man. Like, he's one of those guys that you root for. Like, every time I see him, every time I meet him, like, he's just encouraging, uplifting, and just, he'll check in on me. If I post on Instagram that I'm in New York or whatever, Ward, tap in with me if you need anything. Well, just a really, really solid dude. So I'm excited for that battle because, one, not a lot of times do I get. Most of the time, you see these battlers all the time or whatever. So it's like fresh. It's a fresh face for P. And then two, Ace Amin. I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? He's got to get some get back. He started off last year on a crazy run. Had one of the best battles of the year with Rum Nitty, and then I'm good. And then he had one of the craziest years with Rum Nitty battles with Rum Nitty, and then he had the Marv battle, and then he had the Shotgun Suge battle, and it kind of tailed off. So I'm definitely excited for that. I'm going to give the edge to Ace Amin just off of who I think is probably better for battle rap right now. I'm going to give Ace Amin the win, but I'm excited to watch P. Still on mute. See, come on now. That's why you need caffeine.
My fault.
That's why you need caffeine, man. We're trying to go independent.
Yo, so respect to P, man.
This episode is brought to you by Sprite, because not only is A Ward, but URL is caffeine free as well right now. So
bars. Hey, Sprite, cut us a check. Yo, but now, like, shout out to P. Like I said, I'm not too in tune with P. I'm gonna go with Ace Amin. Like you said, he's had a really good run, a really good year last year. Tailed off a little bit at the end with the Marv battle and then the Shotgun Suge battle. But I'm excited to see him rap. Been following him since his Proving Grounds, and yeah, I'm gonna go with Ace. I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna give P. Say he gets a round out of this one. All right, the next up, Charlie Clips versus Chef Trez. Now, before you go, I'm going to go, and then you can share what you have to say. I'm going Chef Trez 30. I have been scarred from the last few Clips performances. I'm not going to slander his name too heavy because he is a legend, he is a GOAT. But the brother was reading a poem to QB the last time I saw him, man. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get from Mr. Clips. So Chef Trez has been incredibly consistent. I think the brother battled 3 times in one weekend. And from everything I've seen, Chef Trez versus Fonz, super dope battle. From everything I've seen from his other two performances, though, that weekend, they went really well. So I got Chef Trez with the 30, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everybody should be picking. Chef Trez is coming off probably one of his best years in battle rap, and Charlie Clips is probably coming off one of his worst years in battle rap. However, I say that to say these are the battles and these are this is the league and this is the type of environment that Charlie Clips shows you some kind of Charlie Clips stuff. You know what I mean? If you think about the battle with Twerk, you know what I mean? He pulled out one of them Charlie Clips rounds. You know what I mean? Even the battle with Geechee Gotti with the, you know what I mean? Like he still showed. I mean, it's not.
No, we're not giving him credit. No. We're not giving him credit for choking and going.
I know, but
we're not giving him credit for that.
Even before that, I don't think he had a terrible performance against Geechee Gotti in that setting.
No, he wasn't bad before that. He wasn't bad before that.
So what I'm saying is like to me, this is where Clips, puts together a round, or maybe a round and a half or whatever. So I don't got Chef Trez winning this battle 3-0 because I think Clips is gonna have one of them. I think Clips is gonna have one round. Maybe a possible. But I am taking Chef Trez to win the battle. I'm taking Chef Trez to win the battle 2-1. But I would not be surprised if all of a sudden, first time we see Clips in 2024, really, he's not overbooked right now like he was last year. There was a time last year where Clips was like what Rock is this year. You know what I mean? And so, hey, we'll see.
Listen, I don't wish the downfall of any person. So Clips, if you see this, like I hope that you give us a Twerk-like performance. I hope you give us a Luke Castro performance. He was really good versus Luke Castro. If you can get into that bag, I'll be greatly appreciative for sure. But yeah, for now, you got to prove me wrong on this one. All right, next up, New Jersey Twerk versus T-Top. Ooh. So this is interesting, right? Because I mean, obviously these guys are friends. And granted, most guys in battle rap are cool, but these guys are cordial, friendly with each other. They were in a 2-on-2 team versus Mook and Calico. So obviously they have a rapport with each other. I'm gonna go Twerk 2-1. I think. Let me look at the rest of this card here real quick. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. This would probably be my runner-up for Battle of the Night. Mm-hmm. I think this one has the ability if Top. I know a lot of people were on his head because of what happened in New Orleans. So he's going to be motivated. He's got to be motivated because we're getting a New Jersey Twerk. Like we're seeing Twerk's potential fully realized, right? Like we're not seeing, a star-crossed performer right now. We're seeing someone that every time he steps on that stage, you're getting a good performance. You can't say in the last year that you've walked away from a Twerk performance and been like, man, I didn't get my money's worth, or I don't feel like he gave his best performance. He's been really good over the last over 2023 going to 2024. I'm gonna go first and third New Jersey Twerk. I'll give Top that second.
Yeah, I don't know what Twerk's mindset is ever, but I'll say this much, coming off of a crazy year and barely being beat out for Champion of the Year, man. Twerk could be in like all right, well, watch this. I'm about to make an example out of all of y'all this year. You know what I mean? And it could get scary for T-Top, or Twerk could kind of be like how I was after I thought that I was, the year Geechee won, I thought I should have at least been second. I should have won it. It's like, I'm not putting any effort into this, to this champion thing anymore. It's not going to drive me one way or the other, But so I wonder if Twerk comes out, kind of like with a chip on his shoulder. But either or, I just think Twerk is the better battle rapper. And I don't think there are a lot of glaring holes or angles right now in Twerk's career that like T-Top would benefit from. Like, there's times in Twerk's career where it's like, oh, an angler gets a hold of you right now. Like, there's some stuff to talk about, and T-Top is a heavy angler, and there's not really a whole lot to angle on Twerk right now, that could really be kind of like brought to light. But T-Top's one of the best when it comes to it, so maybe it comes up with something. But I got Twerk winning clearly as well.
All right. Real quick, before we continue, because you said, well, I'm not gonna try to win Champion of the Year. Am I understanding?
Yeah.
So, how does that affect you in any way as it relates to how you put together your material, or because obviously I'm trying to get this accolade to say that I'm the best, right? Like everybody wants to be Ash Ketchum, everybody wants to be the very best that ever was, right? So does that affect you in terms of who you choose to battle, material? Is it in the back of your mind like, well, I'm not gonna carry as much this time because I'm not trying to
Yeah,
gun
no,
for that top
I
spot?
think what it is like, yeah, I still respect what they do and promote it and think it's a dope thing for the culture or whatever, but it's not the end all be all. That's all it really is, like you're
Mm.
still picking your battles and you want to be considered at the top, I'm still happy to be able to say, like, yo, 5 out of the 6 years or however many years it's been, I've been in the top, 20 in the world or whatever, as it pertains to probably the most credible and knowledgeable battle rap source of media there is, and ever has been. But you're just kind of like not, you're not like, it doesn't personally affect you to the lengths of, because you realize that at the end of the day it's some fans and it's some media, you know what I mean, and it's all just so subjective, you know what I mean.
Okay. All right. I just heard you say that. So that question popped in my head when you said, well, I didn't
Yeah,
get it last year,
I'm
so
still
I'm
gonna
just,
say, I'm still
moving
gonna
on.
say, hey, I need 4 or 5 big battles a year. I need these battles. I need to battle on. I still want to
Yeah.
do that because I want my resume to be discussed when it comes to being the best in the world. You know what I mean? But I'm not,
Yeah. Yeah.
writing per se to say, hey, if I do this, they'll pick me.
All right. All right. Cool. 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 All right. So let's keep it moving. To me, this is gonna be battle of the night. Miss Hustle versus Chess. How you calling this one?
I'm taking Chess 2-1. I think Chess is the better battle rapper. And I'm just gonna go off of Chess being prepared. Chess had a good showing with T-Rex, I thought, once they finally got it,
For
moved
sure.
and rescheduled. I like that Chess a lot. Miss Hustle, to me, she has a weird ability against certain battle rappers to like talk to them a certain way, and I just don't see that with Chess. Like I just don't see, I do see her towering over Chess or whatever, but I just think Chess, man, he's been through so much, has so much respect and everything, and he's in the culture or whatever. I just don't know that some of the intangibles that she benefits from in some of the matchups she has, being like, this tall woman rapping a certain way against people. I don't know. For me, it doesn't look like it's going to hit Chess the way that it does some of these other battle rappers. So I'm taking Chess.
Yeah, I'm going Chess 2-1. Chess was real comfortable when he battled Tory Doe. He kicked his feet off, or kicked his shoes off, put his feet up, and he got busy. And this wasn't the Tory Doe who was just like round, right?
Yeah.
Like she actually came to rap that day. I do think that I think that Chess is a better overall battle rapper than Hustle. I do think, her.
For getting your BBL. What you gonna do with Chess? You got the BBL. What you gonna do with Chess? Hey.
Man, hey, I'm just saying, like, but I do think this is going to be the best back and forth of the night. I think it's going to be the best back and forth of the night.
It could be.
And so I'm excited to watch that one. All right, let's get into this last one. Tay Rock, this is the main event. Tay Rock versus Serious Jones. These guys have history. There's been back and forths. So who you got? Tay Rock versus Serious.
Man, this is a classic case of like everybody should have Tay Rock. Okay, I mean, I think, and this is one of those battles where it's just like, if Serious Jones has a good round, are we going to be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, kind of, because I just feel like Tay Rock is just clearly the better battle rapper right now, and it's on URL, it's in a volume. Yeah, I think Rock's there, the Cave Gang's there, the Gun Titles are there, everybody's there for, this is a Rock home field, whatever. And, Serious is kind of be on an island, I don't know, and so I just, maybe if the Serious that battled Ill Will, maybe if we get a glimpse of that Serious, was it that Serious? That Serious was pretty good, right? I mean, he did pretty good.
I mean, look, I disagree with this, but a lot of people had Serious beating Rum Nitty. I personally did not. But a lot of people had Serious beating Nitty. I'm trying to think of other performances. I mean, the Gotti performance, no.
Serious has had rounds. There's been rounds in mid-material where that was connected with me, but I don't think I've ever seen like a full 3-round, like, wow, Serious Jones is like back.
So I'll say this. Rock obviously whenever Jay Smo does his top 5 most consistent, he might have to be number 1 on that list, or he's going to be in consideration for number 1. I got Rock. I got Rock winning that battle. However, I will say when they had the battle of the throwaways on Twitter, and I get it, Rock has a bigger fan base, at least online, than Sirius does. That was in my orbit. There wasn't a lot, like it wasn't clear. Rock wasn't clearing Sirius in that little back of the battle of the dirty batches. I'm just gonna put that out there. I think like I said, I got Rock, but I think when you have history, sometimes you can win a round off of just kind of real talking and talking crazy to somebody that you got history with. So I got Rock, but again, I'm just saying. Go back and watch those throwaways they had against each other. I know you already posted them on Twitter. Just saying, go back and watch it. So again, that's the card going down. I don't know when it's going down, actually. Let me see.
March
When
16th.
is it going down?
It's actually next weekend.
March 6th. Next weekend, 3 p.m. live on the URLTV.tv app. You can watch it on most smart TV devices. You can watch it on your laptop, computer. You cannot watch it on mobile yet, so please keep that in mind. $40 for app games, $60 for the lurkers. All right, real quick, we do have one other event that I know of that's going down. This is shout out to King of the Dot. Put your money where your mouth is. They got Run the Fade Toronto going down. Now, I'm going to be honest. I am not as tuned in with some of these battle rappers, so I will stay silent on this, and I'll just run down the card real quick, and you tell me who you got. KP versus LL Cool G. Starting at the bottom of the card.
KP, LL Cool G. LL Cool G is kind of known as like the nomad guy. He's around. He's on every card. He was just on the card with us in Pontiac, Michigan. Shout out to LL Cool G. He always brings like an aggression in the performance and a style that is, unique and it gets him booked quite a bit. KP, if I'm not mistaken, is from California. I think I've seen him. I could totally be wrong because there's a few different KPs or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken,
no, different KP. This is a Canadian KP. This is what happens. We have like the
ain't got a clue then.
Canadian KP.
Ain't got a clue at all. So when I looked at, I thought it was a KP. But anyway, so I'll be interested to see this Canadian KP because I'm always interested to see new up and coming Canadian battle rappers because if Toronto is kind of like looking around if King of the Dot is kind of looking around in Canada to bring up some fresh faces, that's really dope. And that's good for King of the Dot as a league. So.
All right, next up on the card, we got Joey Gambello versus Pathogenic. You know what? I have retweeted bars from Pathogenic. I have not actually watched a Pathogenic battle. So, part itself, I need to tap in and make myself more familiar with your body of work, sir.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. I think they've been going at it back and forth on Twitter for as long as I know. You know what I mean? And I want to say this battle's probably been booked and rescheduled. I'm going to give it to Pathogenic. I think he just wants it more. I did enjoy Joey Gambello's performance. I did enjoy his performance when I battled 100 Bullets. He battled on the same card. And I thought he did very, very well. But it's kind of like, it kind of feels like that one up and comer. I shouldn't even call him up and comer because Pathogenic's been around for a long time. He's finally able to get his hands on somebody that he wants to battle. I'm taking Pathogenic.
All right, so I'm pretty sure you're not familiar with one of these names. Ellipsis versus Roheezy. Roheezy is a newer battler that, at least to me, I've seen a couple of clips of him on iBattle. I am familiar with Ellipsis. I've watched some of his battles. His battle on iBattle versus Homeschool?
Yep.
Yes. I watched that battle. That was the same card you battled on, right?
Yep.
Okay. So yes. But yes, sir.
Yeah. I've seen Roheezy. I've seen a lot of his battles. Ellipsis is just too tough to beat. I mean, I just don't. You've got to be somebody who's grabbed my attention as an up and comer. And Roheezy hasn't done that yet. You know what I mean? Because then I would know him a little bit more, be more familiar with his work. And Ellipsis, man, I mean, after just watching him battle Nestle at GTX last year, and then just some of his other performances, like he's just always so locked in, man. His writing is just really, really dope. And so I don't think this is a style clash at all for Ellipsis, which was when he struggles, when it's just kind of like a style that's just like more battle rap than him. You know what I mean? And I don't find this as a style clash. So I think Ellipsis wins this pretty clear.
Shout out. You know what? If people, I know ghostwriting is a sin in battle rap, but if you do partake
Send me
in a
some
little bit
bars,
of ghostwriting,
Ellipsis. Send me some bars.
Ellipsis is not. That's the person you would want to get some bars from because he's a good writer. All right, City versus Apex.
Two very dope guys, man. City's one of my favorites. Apex, I've obviously battled before. Make sure y'all go check it out. Apex always reminds me every time I see him that our goes viral once a month, and he's tagged in it multiple times of my I got a eulogy tonight.
Oh, give this dude a night. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Freestyle
yeah,
rebuttal.
yeah, yeah.
Apex was with us in Ottawa a few weeks back. Apex battled Poe Rich. Yeah, he put on a great performance. One thing about Apex, man, is he's actually another one of those guys that's a really good writer. He's learning, when I battled him, a lot of my angles were, his rapping ability and his not really rhyming words. And he was still just rough. He's getting a little bit better, I think that the thing about it is this man, like everything Apex does, I think City does a little bit better than him, rapping wise, punching wise, cadence, delivery, all that stuff. Apex is going to be a lot bigger than City in stature. So maybe if there's a way that he can kind of bark on him and kind of create some kind of whatever. But man, City's just dope. He's just super, super dope. I always tell people, City's one of the first guys I ever saw do a reverse punchline. He was ahead of the game. City battled Bill Collector in what was, one of my favorite battles just off I got the burner way back in the PG process, and City was kind of wigging on Bill Collector, in that battle. But we all really remember, the I got the burner from Big Cheese. But yeah, I'm taking City. I'm taking City with the but I wouldn't. This is probably gonna be battle of the night, in my opinion. Well, we got Anderson versus Sharon. It's gonna be hard to be more entertaining than that. But for us rap lovers, I think this is gonna be probably the best, one of the best battles of
the night. Okay, so up next we got Thesaurus versus Pepe.
Man, I love Pepe. Pepe is just another guy that's like P. Like, man, he's just one of the super solid dude in the culture. Anytime you're around him, he's a great guy. He's always, trying, checking in on you or whatever. Thesaurus is Thesaurus. Thesaurus is another kind of battler where after last year, I feel like he probably felt a little slighted when it comes to like the champion rankings. And so I wonder if this year, I know he's got a few battles booked in some different countries and different things like that. He's excited. He loves battle rapping. When Thesaurus gets a battle booked, you find out about it because he's so happy about, just continuing to battle rap. And so Pepe is he is getting better and better. His battle with Emerson Kennedy on Blackout, I thought was good. He had a good showing. He writes on a certain level. There's a couple things I think that he just needs to work on that he's missing. And what a better time to get it right, against a legend like Thesaurus. I wouldn't. Yeah. I would have a hard time picking Pepe to win the battle, just because Thesaurus is Thesaurus. But this is probably could be the upset of the night. And so you know what? We're just going to go that way. I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take the upset, and I'm going to say Pepe edges Thesaurus out in a really good battle.
Okay. All right. Last one. We can get to this NFL draft. Main event, Sharon versus Anderson Burris.
Oh, man. This is going to be a fun one. Sharon versus Anderson. I don't know if you saw the promo video that Anderson Burris dropped today. Hilarious, by the way.
I haven't had a chance. It's crossed my timeline. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Yeah, very, very funny. Anderson Burris is guilty a lot of times of his promo game being much better than him battling. But however, I still do feel like Anderson Burris is a very, very good battle rapper. I think he sticks to what he knows. Sharon in Canada on King of the Dot, though, like we're not going to sit back and act like that's some kind of this should be some kind of close battle. I think Anderson Burris will do enough to have plenty of viral videos to clip down for TikTok and YouTube shorts and stuff. And Anderson Burris will probably win in the long run when it comes to views and all of that kind of stuff because he's just a genius when it comes to that aspect. But as far as battle rap wise, I don't foresee Sharon losing to Anderson Burris on King of the Dot at all. So I'm taking Sharon clear.
And he's coming off of
Danny
one of the
Myers
performances of the weekend.
Man, not even just the
I got the
weekend
VOD
in battle rap. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the VOD, so I got to go back and watch that. So that's that event for King of the Dot, Run the Fade, Toronto. I don't see that they are having a pay-per-view, so this is going to drop at some point on YouTube. So when it does, please support that. So that's our battle rap content. That's our battle rap talk. Let us know what y'all think about anything we discuss. Hit us up at Brains and Bars on Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok. So last thing, we're getting out of here. See if we can do this fairly quickly. So NFL draft is coming up.
I'm not on a time crunch or anything like that. So whatever you need.
Okay. All right. We got NFL draft coming up April 26th, I believe, is the first opening night of the draft. We have, I think that's 8 weeks from now. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through we're going to go through the entire draft, 1 to 32, and we're going to make our picks for each of these teams. We're not making any trades. We're not doing all of that. And we're going to start from the top of the board all the way down to the bottom. So they're starting with the Chicago Bears, as they currently have the number 1 overall pick. And then the week of the draft, we'll go through the final 4 picks, ending with the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Bring this up. You can see that, sir?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to jump to this. So I feel like this first pick is going to be fairly easy and fairly quick because we're taking Caleb Williams, right?
Oh, so are we doing it together, or are we doing you do a pick and then I do
it?
Yeah. Yes.
So how do you want to do it? Do you want to do it together? Or do you want to take one? I take 2. You take 3. I take 4.
Personally, I think the first pick is going to be. I mean, we're both going to. It's Caleb Williams. I don't think there's any. Yeah. No.
There's no discussion. Like I don't understand why he's 1.1. Although there has been a lot of talk, right, about people have been trying to throw dirt on his name. I don't know if you saw, like, the first question he got at the draft was, do you like competing? One of the first questions he got was, do you like to compete? And it's just like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? So, yes, I think he should be number 1. Though, again, I think people are trying to make a case for Jaden Daniels all of a sudden, which I am not sure where that's coming from. I don't know if this is just people trying to create controversy and content because he's such an overwhelming choice for the pick that they have to do something. So I don't know. Let me see what we got as a trade. Who wants to trade? New England, Arizona, Vegas. You could persuade me. No, you couldn't. No,
I mean, it all comes down to what you're doing with Justin Fields, right? I mean.
So I think he's gone. I think he's going to be traded. Although it would be a pretty ballsy move to draft Caleb and use Justin as like a bridge quarterback for one season while you let Caleb develop. But we're in this era now where if you take a quarterback this high, he's got to start from day one.
Yeah.
The days of sitting, like Patrick Mahomes went 10th and he sat for a year. And I think if you do that in today's climate, you're going to be ridiculed for not playing that guy immediately. Although a year later, Josh Allen did. I mean, he sat for most of the season before he got the start. So
Patrick Mahomes also went 10th because the Chiefs, who were a playoff team, traded up to 10. We're talking about a team right now that we're drafting first because they are quite possibly the worst team in the NFL. And so trying to set.
Well, to be fair, before you continue though, to be fair to Chicago, right? They got the number 1 pick because they made the trade with Carolina. Carolina was the worst team in the NFL.
Carolina
got that pick.
Yeah. But Chicago was. I mean, they still would have had a top 10 pick. I'm assuming, right?
They're 9. That right now they own their pick, and we can see they're 9th.
9th. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah.
So they were a top 10. So one of the worst teams. But yeah, I don't. To me, this is a no-brainer. You take Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
You trade Justin Fields to Pittsburgh or Atlanta or Minnesota or whom. I know you're not supposed to really trade in division, but to me, one of the more signs of I don't respect you is when you trade someone within your division because you just really don't believe in them. Like when the Eagles traded Donovan McNabb from Philly to the then Redskins, right?
Yeah.
We don't view you as a threat. So, but yes, we're going Caleb Williams with this first pick. All right, second overall pick, Washington Commanders on the clock. Who do you think should be the second overall pick?
See, I mean, I personally think fit-wise, I like Jaden Daniels with Washington. I like Jaden Daniels with Scary Terry and Jahan Dotson. I mean, I'm not saying that necessarily he's the better quarterback than Drake May. But I just think fit wise, I'm putting yeah. And you're gonna have that Philadelphia Eagles defense running after you, all them Georgia linemen. You're gonna have Micah Parsons in the backfield. You're gonna have I like the athleticism that he has, and I just think fit wise, that's where I would go. I would go with him.
Okay, so I personally am not sold on Jaden. I know people have said all these great things around him, but he was propped up by a lot of. I mean, he's got 2 wide receivers who are going to be drafted in the first round.
He is, yep.
Right. The offense was amazing. I think no matter where he goes and where he's selected, the first thing I do once I draft Jaden Daniels is I bring him into town and I say, son, you got to learn how to slide.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to, because
golly, Anthony Richardson, some of these other guys, it's just like, man, come on now. You can't do this.
But Jaden Daniels takes like cartoonish hits, like hits that you look like they came out the longest yard.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to slide. If we're in the draft room, and I'm a Drake May guy. I think Drake May has more. He doesn't have Jaden Daniels' athleticism, but he has the ability to escape the pocket. He's not in that same realm of make things happen as a Jaden Daniels or a Caleb Williams. But I like his ability to play in the pocket. But you know what? I'm going to agree with you.
Where's Jaden Daniels at? Why do they got McCarthy right there? Oh man.
Listen.
Anyways,
JJ McCarthy. I won't belabor this point. JJ McCarthy is a slightly better Desmond Ridder with a natty. Until he proves me wrong, that's what he like. I do not get it.
No, me neither.
I am just like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
I didn't see
why y'all got this.
They won, but I didn't see anybody like look at this throw. There was no tape for JJ. Oh man.
All I see is a guy who's a low ceiling, low floor guy. Like I don't get it.
Quarterback wise, to me, it's the big 3, man. It's the big 3 quarterback wise, and then it's the rest of the guys.
So as we get to New England, here's the thing, right? The talk about New England is that they want to trade back because they have so many holes in their team that they are trying to trade back, get additional picks, and then they're not necessarily focused on the quarterback right now. They're just focused on trying to make the team better. Then down the line, they expect to probably be in this position again next year. Then they'll go and try to find their quarterback of the future. But we're not. That's speculation. Third in the draft order, who do you think we should take in New England?
Well, if we have to take somebody, if we're not doing a mock trade,
no,
yeah, then it's got to be Marvin Harrison Jr. You're going quarterback. You're going to go ahead and go quarterback and get the third off the board.
Yeah, I think it's stupid of them to try to trade back and not get a quarterback. I understand you have holes you got to fill in the roster, but
I think
get your quarterback.
If they trade back with Atlanta, they can't trade back with Atlanta.
I mean, they could, or you could just trade for Justin Fields. I mean, my thing is this: if you don't think Drake May is the guy, or if you don't want to put your quarterback in harm's way, right, and have him get beat up and take a bunch of shots, my thing is, go ahead and take Drake May and just let Mac Jones get beat up for another season. And that might be a little bit, rude of me to say that.
Is there not? There's not a Quinn Ewers or somebody next season. If he's just going to get beat up, why are we not taking Marvin Harrison and then getting one of the top guys out next year?
Let me see. Let me see what's out there. Let me see what we got.
It's probably going to be.
We got Shedeur Sanders.
Nah,
it's not bad. Drew Allen. Listen, Drew, don't stay in school, young man. Stay in school. Connor Wegman from A&M.
Riley Ferguson. Is he going to be up there?
Who?
You know his name? The dude from Duke. Didn't he go somewhere?
Riley Leonard, and he's at Notre Dame.
Leonard. What's Ferguson?
I don't know. Carson Beck. Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe. Listen, based off performance last year, this is a nasty list. Like, this is the opposite of what we got this year.
It is nasty.
Tyler Van Dyke, Jalen. Nah, man, it's not. I mean, like I said, you're not going to have, if you're in this position again next year, you're not in a place to take a game changer at this higher pick.
Yeah. No,
so I personally,
I'm with you on Drake.
Yeah, I just feel like, to me, it makes sense. We get the quarterback. Yeah. If we don't feel like he's ready, we don't want to subject him to being beat up or mess with his confidence, we go with Mac Jones for another year, or maybe we trade for Russell Wilson for a bridge year or two. And then sign Russell Wilson for a bridge year or two. And then we come back and we get some more talent. So yeah, I'm a Drake May guy. All right, final one of the night. We got the Arizona Cardinals. So every mock draft has the Cardinals. Wide receiver. So can I make a case for them to take Joe Alt? Right now, he's at the top of the.
He made a case for them to take Joe Alt. You don't have to do anything. So, I don't know why.
So here's why I think they should take Joe Alt, right? One, DJ Humphries, their left tackle, tore his ACL at the end of next year. He's not going to be ready to start the season. I don't think the left tackle market from a free agent standpoint is anywhere. Like, there's a bunch of names. You're going to have a David Bakhtiari who's always hurt. You might have Tyron Smith from the Cowboys get released. He's always hurt. There's literally, I went and looked it up online. Like, there's no true left tackle options. Like you said, Joe Alt already has the tape. He's been great since a freshman at Notre Dame. He put up great numbers at the combine. And you've already said that Kyler Murray is your QB1. We just talked about next year. There's no quarterbacks in this draft, at least as it stands today, that is worth taking in the top 10. Why not get your left tackle for the next 10, 12, 15 years and can go into free agency, get some wide receivers. It's a deep wide receiver draft. You can get they have the 3rd pick or 4th pick in the 2nd round. Who I'm thinking, I don't think Xavier Worthy will be there. Keon Coleman will probably be there. Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, like Xavier Legette, Ricky Pierce. Is it Ricky
Pierce? Why is everybody's name
Ricky Pierce? I don't know. For some reason, Lab McConkey is. I've seen him go in the 1st round. He might be there in the 2nd round. Although I'm not sure I would take Lab McConkey in the 2nd round. Yeah. But the point being is, there's a deep wide receiver class, and if there's a guy that you love, just trade up and go get your guy in the 1st round and get a second 1st round draft pick. So
I think the tough thing is, like, these are 2 generational talents. You know, like, I firmly believe that.
True.
So it's like you have to go Marvin Harrison Jr. You know, is because, bro, you just can't pass up on Marvin Harrison Jr. You don't want to be that guy. However, I feel like Joe Alt has kind of positioned himself in the same category as it pertains to probably one of the most important positions in football.
And they both have NFL genes. Like, they both come in. Their dads both played the league. Now, granted, one was a Hall of Famer. Joe Alt for the Chiefs. He's a Chiefs Hall of Famer. He's not a NFL Hall of Famer. Oh. But to me, that's the pick, man. To me, you got to go get your left tackle because you can go find a wide receiver.
I realize that your shirt doesn't have the word champions on it. That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just messing.
You better be glad I ain't got time. Hold on. You better be.
Listen.
Better be. Yeah.
We got to go.
Hey.
I deserve that. Salute. Man, I'm with you. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm not mad at taking Joe Alt right here. In real life, I don't know. We've talked about Marvin Harrison Jr. going in the top 3 for 3 years, you know? And yes. I don't know why. Yes. I mean, as much as I was impressed by the combine and watching that young man run his 40 and just measurements and everything, pause if necessary. But, like, I think you're in a good spot, though. Like, you're in a good spot where, one, you're not going for a quarterback. You're literally getting the best player, not quarterback, in the draft
on the board.
Right here.
And, if you wanted to trade back, if they wanted to trade back again, because from a wide receiver standpoint, I get it. Marvin Harrison is the prize, but this guy right here, Roma Dunze, man, listen, that's my wide receiver one. All due respect to Marvin Harrison. I have been a Rome Odunze stan since probably mid-season, so it's not like I've been there forever. But that's my guy. That's the guy I feel like he's going to be a dog at the next level. And I don't know if you saw the story at the combine where like his cone score wasn't where he wanted it, so he stayed on the field after everyone else had left, so he could do it again, so he could get the score.
Let's go,
dog.
I like
dog.
Rome.
So
I like Rome. Rome.
We're gonna. Yes, it was not. It was not. But we're gonna take Joe Alt here. We fully expect that they are going to take Marvin Harrison. And as you can see, the computer's already made some more selections. But for the first 4 picks, we got Caleb Williams.
4. You only get 4?
We're getting 4 a week. We're not gonna do the whole thing. So the next week we'll come in. We'll do picks 5 through 8. Y'all can let us know who y'all want, who y'all think we should select. Who do y'all like at these respective?
Taking Malik Neighbors over Marvin Harrison. Anyway.
So I mean, I've seen again. That's another team where I've seen where they're going to trade back. They try to pick up additional picks. Because they have a lot of their salary cap is really jacked up. And they might be on that same type of purge that the Bills was on today, letting go a lot of guys have been with the team for a while. So.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Let us know what y'all think, man. What do y'all think about our first 4 picks? Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Joe Alt. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Who did you take? Let us know. 5 picks, 5 through 9. Who would you take there? Hit us up online. Let me pull it up so y'all can see it. Sorry, banners. IG, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Brains and Bars. That's been our show, man. We went a little bit longer pause than we normally do. But I appreciate you hanging with us. We appreciate everyone. There are a lot of we'll talk about that anyway.
A Ward versus Bangs this weekend, Connecticut. Ready or die, QB Black Diamond.
A Ward versus Bangs, QB Black Diamond League, the inaugural what's the word I'm looking for? Event from her league going down this weekend. I hope you're ready, sir. If not, hop off here, finish getting ready for that battle.
Well, we about to lock in.
Until next time, it's been a black
and white
thing, man. We holler at y'all next week. Y'all be easy. Good night.
Peace.